Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888. All right, I've got a very special letter that I'm going to share here with you. I'm a co-signer on this particular letter. It's a co-op effort between Gun Owners of America and the Second Amendment Action Alliance. And this is a letter that is being sent right now to Congress. All right, and I'd like to share it with you. And let's get into it. We sent it to Steve Scalise, Tom Emmer, Kevin McCarthy, Hakeem Jeffries, Catherine Clark. All right, so let's check it out. Dear Speaker McCarthy, Majority Leader Scalise, Whip Emmer, Minority Leader Jeffries, and Whip Clark, we, the undersigned members of the Second Amendment community, urge that Congress reject the arbitrary and tyrannical ban on up to 40 million lawfully owned pistols by the Biden administration. Congress must not sit on its hands while President Biden and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives actively usurps the lawmaking process to ban millions of firearms. Prior to the Biden administration, ATF issued numerous interpretive guidance letters approving pistol-braced weapons for manufacture, sale, and possession without additional restrictions, such as federal gun registration and fingerprinting. For nearly a decade, gun stores sold braced pistols, and law-abiding gun owners added them to their collections and home defense setups. Despite there being millions of braced pistols in common use around the country, there have been no statistically significant rise in violent crimes committed with these accessories. They do not make a firearm more dangerous. Firearm stabilizing braces were originally designed to help Americans shoot firearms that would otherwise be unable to hold or aim. Braces now allow countless Americans with disabilities or those who lack the body strength the ability to shoot the best defensive firearms in a controlled manner. This made it infuriating for gun owners to watch Democrats in Congress misrepresenting these devices as excessively dangerous or capable of turning a semi-automatic firearm to fully automatic. The only unique feature of these firearms is cosmetic, a short barrel. Despite the false narrative perpetuated by anti-gun politicians, Congress does not have the authority to regulate any gun based on its appearance or resemblance to military firearms. With the newest Supreme Court decision, New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin, the court correctly affirmed that any law related to firearms must be in line with the text and history of the Second Amendment. There was never a law during the founding era that banned firearms on appearances. The Second Amendment provides the federal government a clear mandate. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Congress must, therefore, take threefold action to protect the American people against President Biden's unconstitutional gun ban. 1. Resolution 44 and Resolution 20 must be taken up pursuant to the Congressional Review Act in both the House and Senate, and the ATF must be overturned, or the ATF rule must be overturned before it goes into effect on June 1st, 2023. 2. The Stop Harassing Owners of Rifles Today Act must be signed into law, preventing any future administration from weaponizing the draconian National Firearms Act of 1934 against the American people by eliminating cosmetic regulations on barrel length and destroying the federal government's gun registry of short-barreled firearms. 3. The ATF must be defunded and its ability to harass gun owners dismantled. Bureaucrats must be prohibited from enforcing these unconstitutional infringements on the Second Amendment, especially if President Biden will not sign either the joint resolution of disapproval or the Short Act. If Congress fails to take such actions, millions of Americans will be placed at the mercy and discretion of ATF agents' arbitrary actions. Remember your oaths to the Constitution and the American people in liberty. And of course, it's signed by many people, including myself. I'll just rattle off a few here. Jared Yanis from Guns and Gadgets, Tim Harmson, Military Arms Channel, Paul Glasgow from Legally Armed America, Brendan Langley from Langley Outdoors, John Crump from John Crump News, Shermichael Singleton and John Keys from Guns Out TV, myself, Eric Blanford, Iraq Veteran 8888, Alex Holloway, Control and Pew, Hank Strange with Hank Strange, Omar Crispy Avila from Crispy 11 Bravo, and of course a score of others. And it's a huge list that it would take me forever to go down it. But thanks to all the folks who signed this particular list. Look, Speaker McCarthy, you can end this with a phone call. We all know you can. All you have to do is pick up the phone, and it will cost you nothing, and it will save us all a lot of grief. And I'm pretty sure you know the grief that I described. This isn't going to be a walk in the park like you think it is if this thing goes into effect. You know what's going to happen, and you know what's not going to happen. Y'all already know exactly what is going to happen with this brace rule if it goes into effect. That you're giving the ATF the ability to weaponize their entire agency against people that are simply political rivals. This is all politics. This is all posturing. They know it is. That's why they did it. You have the power to make this right. And I think y'all know what to do. Y'all need to do the right thing. You know, you have a very, very important weight on your shoulders with this. And it's much, much greater than you can possibly ever imagine, the gravity of this decision. If this is allowed to stand, it's going to set forth a very dangerous precedent that we cannot allow to happen. We can't. So I have faith that our government institutions will do the right thing, but I guess we'll just have to see. But what can you do, right? If you're watching this video, you need to call Washington and call your reps. Call through, ask if you don't know, call through the number there in the description box below, and you're just going to ask, hey, this is where I live. I want to talk to my rep, and you need to make your voice heard, okay? They need to know that people are fired up about this. The undersigned in this particular letter represents about 30 million followers and supporters of the Second Amendment. So this is nothing to be taken lightly. We are the voice of over 30 million people, many of which who own these types of items in question. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't even know about the situation at all. Imagine being told that it was perfectly okay to go buy a brace pistol, and now all of a sudden you're rolling down the road, get pulled over by the police or something, and they find you with one of these things you didn't even know. All you knew is the guy at the gun store told you it was okay to have. That's a scary position, to think that someone could be rolling down the road and just be turned into a felon over something so draconian and ambiguous. We have to end this. All right? Y'all made your point. Now you need to reel back on it before someone gets hurt. Have you all a great day. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you soon.